Hi, this week I want to go over our inner critic, and I want to just hit a few points here just to give you a little idea of where to start and what to do. First of all, let's just talk about what is it. Well, it is the demanding, the judgmental voice that you hear that says you're not worthy, that you can't do it, those kind of things. And also remember, you had an outer critic before you had an inner critic. You're not born with an inner critic. So somebody has to tell you on the outside that you're not this and you're not that. Now, in itself, that's not a bad thing every now and then to have an inner critic. It's just when it starts to take over your life. And that's what we're going to talk about here. That's for this kind of thing. If you're in your recovery part of it, or if you're just like, I can't get these thoughts out of my mind, this is what we're talking about. And this is the very first steps. So we've gone over what it is. And what's something that you can do, just real quick, that you can do before you start anything else? Acknowledge it. Say, I hear you. Say, I see you. Some people even make a name for it, but you can just keep it yourself. But acknowledge it. Say, I got you. I hear you. I know you're scared. And I know you want to keep everything the same because that's what our brain does. But if you could just step back for a minute or two and let me try something new, it might actually help. That kind of thing. Be sure to do that with your inner self. And be real gentle with your inner self. You already got a critic. You're done with that. This time is time to be gentle with yourself. Like you would a friend that's going through a really hard time. Or a family member that you're really close to that's going through a really hard time. You wouldn't be harsh with them. You'd be very gentle with them. Well, you need to do it with yourself too. Okay? And so the next thing, why does it even happen? Is there any things that trigger it? Well, some things can be just actual physical things. You're not getting enough sleep. You're really stressed out about things. You haven't been eating right. Those kind of things. You just haven't been taking care of your body for whatever reason. I mean, that just happens physically. You might have been sick. Just different things. But also it can be from outside forces or circumstances, like things didn't happen in your life like you wanted to. Like, I didn't get that promotion. I didn't get the job that I wanted. People are really making me stressed at work. I'm really stressed at home being a full-time mom or dad. That kind of thing. Look at those outside circumstances too. So we're looking at them, we see them. So what can we do? Well, once we start looking at them, we have to really start seeing, how do I feel about them? We're always going to go back to emotions. How do I feel about them? And why am I feeling this way? And then you can actually start, if you're really into your recovery process, actually start writing it down. Okay, I'm feeling this right now, but why? Okay? And then you can get those things written down for yourself. Also, another thing that I do is called what I call a self-scan. Some people call it self-audit. There's just different names for it. But what you're going to do is those things that have been bothering you for a bit, and I usually do it once a week. I don't try to do it any longer than that because then it'll be too many. And I don't try to do anything less than that because it's just something you're doing every day. But a week. So if there's some things that have been bothering you about yourself or you've been hearing from yourself in the last week, you can actually start looking into that. And what I do is I write it down, and I like to take a red pencil or pen and mark it out. Then I write the positive of that. And I'm going to use something very, very simple. I am not strong. So then I take that pencil or pen and write it and mark through it. I am strong. See what I mean there? That's the things that you do. It's that simple. And the last thing I want to talk about is to not ignore it. And you're like, well, that's kind of counterproductive, isn't it? No, it's not. Because when you ignore it, you're not finding out the root problem. If you don't ignore it, then you can find, well, why am I feeling this way? You can find out what those emotions are so that you can get the help you need with those emotions. And somebody like me, I help people with that. I've been trained in that. And you go to your therapist, they help you with that. Those kind of things help you regulate those emotions so that you're not triggered and so that inner critic does not come out as much. So I hope these few things help this week. And I'll be having a blog with this that gives a lot more detail. So I hope you go out there and have a great weekend. Have a great day.